Mr. President, on a separate matter, Senate Republicans today are prepared to break the Democrat nomination blockade. Senate Republicans are determined to overcome Democrats' confirmation obstruction. Senate Republicans are prepared to restore the Senate to the way it's supposed to work. For 2 centuries, most presidential nominees have sailed through this chamber by voice vote, by unanimous consent. That was the gold standard for advise and consent. Senator Schumer and the Democrats abandoned it. Instead of deliberation, Senate Democrats chose unprecedented delay. That ends now. This year, Democrats have forced the Senate to waste 210 hours of pointless procedural theatrics. That's 210 hours not used for debating legislation to fight crime, to secure the border, to unleash American energy, and to grow the economy. Modern presidents have over 1,000 positions requiring Senate confirmation. And as a result, only 12% of President Trump's team is today on the job, and it's because of obstruction. It's because Democrat delays. They've delayed positions vital to America's safety, vital to our prosperity, and vital to our diplomacy around the world. These remain empty. Let me name a few. The Director of National Counterintelligence for Security. That's the person responsible for protecting us from foreign spies. Empty. The Undersecretary for Nuclear Security at the Energy Department, the person responsible for safeguarding our nation's nuclear weapons. Empty. Ambassadors to key NATO allies as war rages in Europe. Empty. The Inspector General at the Central Intelligence Agency. Empty. The Deputy Trade Representatives as America negotiates historic trade deals. Remains empty. Empty positions cannot keep our nation safe. Empty positions, they invite Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, they invite them to test us. But that's what the Democrats have brought this country. This is unquestionable, undeniable, irrefutable, inescapable facts are that this Democrat obstruction makes America less safe. That's where we are today. Let me point out what makes Democrat obstruction even more disgraceful. It destroys their own precedent. May of 2001, 32 nominees from President George W. Bush were confirmed in a single group. A few months later, 54 more confirmed in the same way. February of 2010, for President Barack Obama, 77 nominees confirmed exactly the same way. 2017, President Trump is then in the office, 65 nominees confirmed on a single day. So what have we seen? Republican presidents, Democrat presidents, all with nominees confirmed in the same way. The Senate approved those nominees then. It's a long-established tradition in the Senate. That's the way the confirmation process is supposed to work. Just 4 years ago, President Biden in the White House, 36 nominees confirmed the exact same way. I want to just get back to this 4 years ago. 36 nominees confirmed by President Biden. Who personally came to this Senate floor that day to ask for that unanimous consent? Well, it was current Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. He's the one that made the motion. He's the one that sought unanimous consent, and of course, we agreed, and it was done that way. All these groups of nominees, from President Bush to President Biden, were confirmed by unanimous consent. But now that Donald Trump is president again, Senator Schumer calls the process, in his words, quote, beyond the pale of doing what he just asked to be done when President Biden was in the White House. When the Minority Leader claims this week, he said Republicans are breaking the Senate norms, he is trying to rewrite history. Who's he trying to fool? For the past 25 years, the Senate has confirmed routine nominees together in groups. It's been done for Republican presidents, Democrat presidents, but not anymore, not when President Trump was elected this past year. Democrats are now trying to deny President Trump the team he needs in place and on the job to govern this nation. But the American people elected President Trump to lead, not to watch his administration be held hostage by partisan politics. Today, Senate Republicans are going to return to the very practice that Democrats endorsed and followed until President Trump got elected. Let me remind the colleagues of that practice so they don't say, well, they're going to speed things along. Look, every committee hearing and markup will still happen. Every FBI background check will still happen. Every ethics review will still happen. Every nominee will still appear before committees. Every nominee will still answer questions from senators, and every nominee will still have a vote in a committee. Scrutiny of each and every nominee is going to continue. What comes to the end is what is Senator Schumer's reign of procedural terror. The Schumer confirmation shutdown ends today. And to my Democrat colleagues, let me say, if you disagree with our effort to get the Senate working again, it's up to you to explain to the American people why you have chosen to paralyze the Senate. You need to explain why you chose to stop doing the work that you were elected to do. Republicans are getting this Senate back to work on behalf of the American people. And beginning next week, the backlog of President Trump's nominees will be confirmed, and they will be put to work to get America back on track.